Yes. All right, let's do Smackdown notes here very quickly, and then we'll jump into our special guest. Well, not into the special guest, preferably.
I know what you mean.
Show
opened with clips of The Undertaker ascending into heaven.
Yeah, he went to heaven.
That's all I can say.
Yeah.
They showed him being buried alive, and then there's a shot of him walking in slow motion through the darkness. He opened a door, angels were singing, light shone through the door, and he walked through and it closed.
That's awfully nice.
That's what happened.
Second time he's gone to heaven in his career.
At least. Probably more than that. Kane came out. He had the mock funeral set up. He was talking about how he wanted to take all credit for removing Undertaker forever. Got interrupted. He wanted a moment of silence. At that point, Alberto Del Rio's music kicked in and he drove in honking his horn. Mm-hmm. That was great. So he wanted a title match. He slapped the urn down. Kane was distracted. He laid Kane out. Rey Mysterio came out to make the save. That was odd. Alberto bailed, so Rey hit Paul Bearer with a 619. Then he got kicked by Kane, and Kane turned around and got speared by Edge.
Yeah.
A lot happening in a short time.
I think this was a test for a future babyface turn of Alberto Del Rio.
Possible.
Seems my prediction.
Didn't he just show up?
Then Alberto demanded a title match, and Teddy signed Alberto versus Edge versus Rey to determine a number one contender. And there you go. I would suspect that the idea is probably, maybe not this WrestleMania, maybe it is this WrestleMania. Depends on how Rey is feeling. But at some point, Rey is going to have to pass the torch to somebody, and it's going to be to Alberto Del Rio as
the next Mexican star.
New big Mexican babyface in the company, and he will be big. Dolph and Vicky came out. She was wearing a full-body leopard print outfit called a cougar costume.
A bodysuit it was.
Yep. Dolph faced Daniel Bryan, and I'm fine with them putting this match on every fucking TV show ever.
When Bryan came out, I moaned and said again, and then immediately thought, what am I complaining about?
Yes.
I was a fool. I apologize.
You're an idiot. So they had an awesome match, as always. And again, I mentioned this on Wednesday with Dave. It's even more apparent right now. If these fucking people in WWE do not know what they have in Bryan Danielson by SmackDown, then they're absolutely beyond hope. I mean, he's had the three best well, I can't say that. He's had three of the best matches on WWE TV in the last week. 3! He's had an awesome match on 3 fucking straight shows.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
Open your eyes. So hopefully they've acknowledged that. If not, then they'll be dead in 5 years. So anyway, they had an awesome match, and this finish was the ref taking a bump, and Ziggler hit his finish. Vicky counted the pin, but there was no ref. So the ref woke up and told her to get out of the ring, and Daniel then hit a Mirko Cro Cop high kick for the pin, and the place went nuts. The place loved this match, and they went nuts for the finish.
Yes.
So this was such a win.
This was a great match.
And it was not the best match on the show.
That's true. It was the best match I'd seen in a while. Since Raw, at least, when these same two guys wrestled. But, yeah, no, it was great. The finish was a little wonky, but I guess it's something they can do is to still have the feud going and have Vicky and Dolph pissed at each other for something. We had Paul Bearer cutting a great, wacky promo backstage. He was outraised at the actions of Del Rio and Edge and Rey Mysterio, and I will not do a Paul Bearer imitation, but he said, they will pay, over and over again.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
You could not... Paul Bearer is a great example of one of those guys like Ric Flair or whoever, where if you were going to make a movie about the person, you could not find someone to play the role better.
Oh, God, yes.
There's not a human being on the face of the earth that could do Paul Bearer better than Paul Bearer.
Right.
Not a single one. It is an impossibility. So he's great. Unlike Cody Rhodes, who actually, I really like Cody on this show, but you could put 100 men in Cody's role, and they'd probably all do exactly the same.
Sure.
So he was looking in a mirror, and Big Show showed up and challenged him to a match, and Cody said, I'm a tag guy. You don't have a partner, so it's impossible for us to have a match. And Show said, I'll get one. So Cody was fucked.
So yes, okay. They booked the match. We had Kaval versus Jack Swagger. It was fun. It's impossible to take Jack Swagger. You realize, like 4 months ago, this man was world champion. Mm-hmm. Now he is out there with a eagle.
A giant bird.
The I thought was a one-time joke. It's now been a month. Mm-hmm. Still out there. They had a fun match.
You know what I suspect is going to happen? He's going to keep the eagle until the big Raw show at the end of November in Philadelphia, and then he's going to kill the eagle.
In front of the Eagle fans?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's my prediction.
There have been worse theories. So yes, they had a fun match. Swagger eventually won clean with the ankle lock. It was no kind of burial. I have no complaints about this. We had the Divas costume contest.
Mm-hmm.
Stryker had, I thought, his best line of forever. The Bella Twins came out dressed as Batman and Robin. And Stryker said, that Robin can make a boy wonder.
Yeah.
I laughed.
The Bellas were Batman and Robin. Alicia was Cleopatra. Kelly was Little Bo Peep. I was trying to figure out costumes for tomorrow at Sonny's Halloween party.
Did that one cross your mind?
I had not thought of Little Bo Peep.
Maybe your wife can be Bo Peep and you can be the sheep.
I was thinking I'd just be the thing she holds on to. The staff.
Oh, Bryan.
Dress me up as wood.
Oh, Bryan.
Rosa Mendez was the lucky leprechaun. That's who you could be, Vinny. And Melina was the amazing Spider-Woman.
Who looked exactly like Spider-Woman from the comic books. I don't know.
You do know what Sonny's costume is going to be, don't you?
I have no idea.
I just want to tell everybody this was Sonny's idea. He had a stroke, 2 of them actually, and he can no longer speak. Mm-hmm. He merely texts. And at the pay-per-view Sunday, he sent me a text telling me what his costume was going to be.
All right.
Him and his brother are going as Jay and Silent Bob. Sonny has lost not a bit of his sense of humor.
Nope.
In this trying time.
He's doing fine, honestly.
He's doing remarkable.
He gave me a ride home when I came back from South Carolina. He gave me a ride home from the airport, and we were trading texts and whatnot. Not as he drove, obviously, but he explained that he was before he had his issues, he was an instructor for a driver's ed company, and he has since just bought the company.
Really?
Yeah. Because the reason it came up is because he gave me a ride in the driver's ed car. So I theoretically, from the passenger seat, could have slammed on the brakes at any time. And so we were discussing this, and I said, so I asked him, you don't teach anymore, do you? And he shook his head. And I said, so you just own it? He nodded. And I said, so do you have to do any paperwork or anything? And he shook his head, no. And I said, so what do you do? And he rubbed his thumb and fingers together to indicate, I make money. So Sonny's doing great.
Wow.
Yes.
I had not heard that. I'll have to talk to him about that tomorrow.
So anyway, Melina came out in her Spider-Woman costume. As noted, she looked exactly like Spider-Woman and should have won on just for that, as far as I'm concerned. And then Lady Cool came out. They were Lady Gaga and Beyonce. So they did some dumb comedy, and then Teddy Long booked an 8-diva tag match.
I got to say something here. I'm actually to the point now where I feel bad to have to make fun of Melina on almost every show. But my God, was she horrible in this match. Because of her Spider-Woman costume, was going to give her a free pass on the show, but I couldn't. No.
When I forget what she hit, but she hit Alicia with something.
Well, first she tried to run the ropes and tripped and fell down.
Yes.
And then when she bounced off the rope, she tried to do the kick into the splits and almost killed herself and her opponent. But I will say this in Melina's defense, as horrible as she was on this show, she was Trish Stratus in her prime compared to Rosa Mendez. Holy fuck, that girl is horrible.
And the Bellas were also involved.
Yeah.
This was a poor wrestling battle.
The Bellas look great compared to poor Rosa.
Isn't one Bella noticeably better than the other? Because there's a point where one of them started was horrible, and then she tacked out, and the other was okay. But this match that you've all heard us tear apart, how badly at least half the women involved are, it went to a commercial break. Mm-hmm. They went to commercial, and when they came back, the first thing we saw was more botchery.
Yeah.
Kelly eventually pinned Rosa with a Fame-Master. This match sucked.
Yeah. Edge told Ray he was going to win the title match tonight, and Ray said, I will too. Anyway.
Yeah. I didn't write it down. Who cares?
Drew and Cody came out, and Drew challenged Nexus, saying they were going to win the belts back. And he announced that he and his partner, Drew, would now be known henceforth as the Dashing Ones.
This is so fantastic, especially knowing now where it ended. But Cody makes this announcement. We are the Dashing Ones. And Drew gives, I don't know if you call it a roll of the eyes, or he nodded his head, but he was not impressed with this name.
No.
He thought, I can do better than being one of the Dashing Ones. So,
there's Drew and Cody against the Big Show and Kofi. Pretty fun match. There was a spot where the Big Show backdropped Kofi, and Todd Grisham said it was like falling out of a 3-story window. We are on the second floor right now of a 2-story house.
Okay.
The man would die falling out of this window, and I'm trying to think of a story higher. This was an exaggeration to a ridiculous degree.
Well, yes, but this didn't bother me as much as when they say like the stage is 12 feet high. And
Yeah.
you see Rey Mysterio standing right next to it.
Well, yeah.
This was just...
This is even more ridiculous.
But
he
it was
threw
so-
him 3 stories in the air?
But he was so ridiculous that you cannot possibly take him seriously.
Oh, I see.
As opposed to when if he had said Cody fell from a mile, would you have been angry? It clearly would not have been true.
Yeah.
So it's when, if you're going to exaggerate, just go with it. I don't feel like you're lying to me then. I feel like you're just going overboard. When you say the stage is 12 feet high when it's really about 7, that annoys me. So anyway, they had a very fun basic tag match. They beat up Kobe forever. They teased the hot tag forever. Fans are going crazy. Big Show got the hot tag and ran wild. And the finish was, Show had Cody up for the chokeslam. He's holding him up there. Cody is waving to Drew for help, and Drew backs away. Mm-hmm. And Cody gets chokeslammed and pinned. Yeah. So then they go to commercial. When they come back, Drew's walking backstage. Cody runs him down. And then the Dashing Ones explode.
Yeah.
They broke up.
Basically, they were yelling at each other. They were in their face. They both said, "Get out of my face or I'll kick your ass." And finally, Cody looked at him for a second, and he stormed off after shouting, "The Dashing Ones are over."
Best breakup ever.
It was great.
So he also had a great line where he said, "I will never win a singles championship as long as I'm with you." Well, if you're wrestling tag matches, that is almost certainly true.
Then we had Edge, Rey, and Alberto in a number 1 contenders match. Ricardo Rodriguez does not get enough credit. He's the best ring announcer in all of WWE.
Oh, God, yes.
God, he's great. So they have a match, and it was so fucking great, I could not even believe it. And this was actually better than anything on the pay-per-view. This was better than anything on WWE TV in a long-ass time. And the most shocking thing, really, is Del Rio is just now learning U.S. style.
Yeah.
He's being asked to do a fucking 3-way, a very complex 3-way at that. And he was there for everything. They did a million things. They kicked out of a bunch of moves, and finally Rey had both guys in 619 position, and he went to hit Alberto, but Alberto jumped up. Rey hopped up onto his shoulders, and then Edge speared Del Rio, knocking them both to the ground. Covered Del Rio, got the pin. So Edge is your number 1 contender for the title. This match was so great.
Yeah.
If you have SmackDown recorded, don't delete it.
Watch this match. Watch the opener. Watch this.
You must watch this show this week. It was great. So anyway, at SmackDown, that 3-way seriously was so great. For those of you that you must watch this match. It's going to be on YouTube. It'll be up on the WWE YouTube site soon.
It should be on my DVR at home right now. I may watch it when I get there.
I would watch it again if I were you. I actually immediately deleted the show, and after I did, I was pissed off at myself. Because every time a show is over nowadays, I just delete it.
Right.
And because usually it's really not all that good. This one I would not have any problem watching again, and I deleted the fucking thing. So do not make the mistake I made, everybody. And speaking of mistakes, we got a special guest going to be on the show, so we'll be right back.